And yeah, I hope you can see my presentation. Just give a thumbs up if you can see the presentation. Okay, just one is enough. Yeah, fine. So, welcome to the seventh live session of problem solving through programming in C. So let us just give me, yeah. I reused the template of the presentation, so there might be some inconsistencies. So yeah, so let's just start with week 7 recap. So we covered, week 6 we were introduced to arrays. So then we saw in an array, if you want to search a specific number or some specific element, I mean, if it is an array of character, some specific character. Okay, so we saw that we can use linear search for that, and this can be used for either sorted or unsorted arrays. So you will know what sorted, unsorted. I mean, you can intuitively you might know what it means, but it will be covered with better depth in the next few weeks. So don't worry about that right now. Then we saw character arrays, strings and various string operations. I mean, some of the string operations that are there in C that exist in my file string.h. So then we started Rudy arrays, started and ended. So arrays can have more than one dimension. So we saw one. So we did 1D arrays last week. 2D arrays, I can also add more dimensions to it. I can have a 3D array, 4D array. So it just increases the complexity of my problem, and I'll use those when I have to use them. So only 2D array was done, and then we saw the basics of how to write a function. Very basics, just maybe there's the syntax and all. So we'll not go too deep into functions this week. So as usual, let's start the problems. First task is so this is, I will actually so I need one of you to unmute yourself. Okay, this is bad. So I need a volunteer. Can one of you raise your hand? And I mean, I need to unmute yourself and answer. Any volunteers for that? Just for this question, I'll not bug you after this. Okay, Saif Ali Khan, you can unmute yourself now.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll go to slideshow mode again. You just have to say yes or no. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So which of the following statements are correct? Okay, so a string is a collection of characters terminated by \0. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so it is true. strcon is used to concatenate or join two strings. Yes or no?
Sorry, can you repeat?
You can see my screen, right?
I can't see your screen. I can just see the time to solve problems thing.
Oh god, I think the slideshow mode is not working. Were you guys able to see the slideshow, or was it not visible?
I can't see the slide, so I just can see the time to solve problems.
Okay. So just give me a second.
Please close and once again open.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'll stop presenting. So just give me a minute. I'll go to slideshow. Set up slideshow presented by individual window. Okay. Okay, so let us try it again. So I'll try to do slideshow. Now is the slideshow visible?
Yes.
So you can see recap of week 7, right?
Yeah, I can see.
Okay, great. So yeah, I just went through this, what all we had in week 7. So okay, so which of the following statements is correct? Right. First is a string is a collection of characters terminated by \0. So is it true or false?
True.
Okay. strcon function is used to
No, it's
concatenate
false.
or join two strings. Okay, so
It's
what else
false.
do we use?
strcat.
Okay. And then next one is the format specifier percentage %s is used to print a string.
Yes, it's true. Yeah.
Last, the length of a string can be obtained by
False.
false. So what is the
strlen.
len? Okay, that's all. You can mute yourself. We'll go to
Thank
the next problem. So this is on 2D arrays. You know how much each element stores and what is the this thing. Okay, just a minute. I will. Okay. So if the starting address of a float array, it's not an, my bad, of a float array of dimensions 20 into 20. So it's a 2-dimensional array is 1007 starting address. Okay. What would be the memory address of the element of the array whose indices are 11, 18? Okay, so this is more of a mathematics problem than a programming one, but still. So I'll give you 3 minutes to solve this, because I mean, yeah, some people will be fast enough to just solve it just like that, and I will post a question on polls that you have to answer. Okay. So your time, let's say, starts now. The time is up. I have launched a poll, and yeah, you guys just answer there. So one thing I would like to let you know that is, for now the site is on mute. So if someone wants to say something, just raise your hand. I will unmute the site, and I will let you answer. So the site is on mute, as in maybe other participants can hear you, but I'll not be able to hear you. So this I mainly do to make sure that since these classes are being recorded, I do this to avoid the joining noise. So when someone joins or wants to join, there is a notification with a sound, ting sound is there. So to avoid that, I have to keep this site on mute. Yeah, but during interaction, I unmute the website. So only I've gotten only one answer on the polls. You guys can see the polls, right? The question has been posted on the polls. So only one person has answered. So what I'll do is I'll just solve this. So one thing you have to keep in mind is that array, it starts from 0 0. Okay, so the first intuitive element is 0th. Its index is 0. Okay, so we'll start with 0 0. So 0 0 is at, okay, so it automatically made it cap, so just ignore, is stored at position 1007 and takes up 4 spaces. Okay, 4 spaces, 4 bytes, whatever. So 4 spaces, okay, in the memory. So to get the, so 11 is actually at position 12 and 18 is the second last row or column. So in this case, it's the second last column, okay, rows and columns. So it's the second last column, just okay. So just keep that in mind. So how do I get the position of this element? So if the first element is at 1007, I can just add the number to, I can do 1006 plus, so 1006 is technically 0. So whatever position I want, starting place, I'll just add to it, okay. So where will my 12th row start? So where will 11 start? Okay, row number 11 or the 12th row, where will it start? So I can just do, I just have to see where the 10th one ends. Okay, so where row number, sorry, where the 11th one ends. So I can just do 1006 plus 4 into 11 into 20, right, because each one is of length 20. So this gives me this gives me what, 1886. So this is where the 11th row ends. I have to see where the 12th row starts. So the 12th row starts at 1887. Okay, so to see where 18, right, so I need to see, so 18 is technically 19, so I have to check where the 18th element ends, so I can see where the 19th element starts. So 18th element ends at 1886 plus 4 into 18, right. So 19th element starts at is stored at 1959. Okay, so hope that is clear. So this is the answer. I will just make it big. So this is the answer. Okay, so I will just yeah, answer is 1959. So if I have instead of float, if I use int, okay, if I use int, what will be the answer? Okay, so you guys just think what the answer will be. So let's just move to the next question. Okay, this is also fairly simple. Or do you guys want 1 minute to solve this? If I used int, if the array is int instead of float, where will this and it starts at 1007, where will this thing be stored? Do you guys want to try? Just give me a thumbs up if you want to try, else I'll just move on to the next question. Okay, Joe, just try then. I'll give you 2 minutes.
One 1519.
Yeah, so time's up. I have sorry. So time's up. I have received some votes on the poll, and they seem to be, as far as I know, correct. But we'll still check. So same logic we'll use. Instead of 4, we'll just use 2, because int takes 2 spaces. We are not using long int and we are not using double. We are just using int or float. Float takes 4 spaces, int takes 2 spaces. So instead of 4, we'll just make it 2. Because what happens, I make this 2, then instead of 1886, I'll get 1446, because 880 becomes 440, half of it. So this one starts at 1447, okay, and this I'll make this again 2, so 446, 1446 plus 36, right? So I will get 1446 plus 36, so I will get 1482. So hence it will start at 1483. Okay, so this is, yeah, so that will be the answer. I will just, so we got the answer, so I will just undo everything and I will just add here 1483 as the answer. Okay, I hope you all got the same answer. So let's move to the next question. This will be slightly, sorry, yeah. So I have a few lines of code here. You have to tell me the output. I didn't. Okay, so this is badly presented. Yeah. So what is the output of the following code? I have here stdio.h. I didn't include string.h because I'm not using any string functions, and this %s is part of stdio.h, not string.h. Okay, so it's quite easy. You don't need more than 2 minutes, but I'll still give you 3 minutes. So I can see that, Nestor, now you can answer.
Gram.
Gram, right? Okay, that's the correct answer. So I don't need to react to that. I'm telling the participants. Okay, so some people might get confused that I have declared this as a 2-dimensional array and I have only three elements, and how does it get stored? I mean, yeah, storing will be done one after the other, but is it stored in one row or is it stored in 3 rows? So I mean, is it 1 row 3 columns or 1 column but 3 rows? So that's not really important here. So I'm just looking, so this just says just see the second element. So of course 1 means 2, 0 means 1 and 1 means 2. So second one is gram, so that will be the output, and this is in itself is a string. So yeah, now we'll get to something more challenging. If you have attended yesterday's and day before sessions that I didn't take, they might have you might have come across this question. So I hope that you did not attend those sessions. So yeah, so the task is to write a C program that to print the largest and the smallest word in a given sentence. Okay, largest and smallest word in a given sentence. If there are two or more words of the same length, then the first one should be considered. Okay, a single letter in the sentence is also considered as a word. So like we use I or words like that. So those are also words, right? Although they constitute of only one letter, but those are also words. So like I have this sample input, it is a ridiculous thing to say. So largest word is ridiculous. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 letters, and smallest word is because it has only one letter, and these three words have 2 letters each. So if I okay, so if I remove this then it should print it. Okay, so it should print it with a capital I. Okay, not a small I, with a capital I, or you can actually use the to lower function in strings and you can change all to lowercase. It's up to you, it's all up to you. But here we are actually not seeing the value of the string, we are just seeing the length of the strings. So I'll give you 15 minutes to solve. So you have to write this on your own, and then we'll discuss what you have written and how you can make it better. Is the question clear? If there are any doubts with the question, then you can ask, else I'll start the timer and you guys can attempt it. Okay, so I am starting the timer. So people who have raised their hands, do they have a doubt in the question or have they solved it? If
Sir, how to show the answer?
okay, don't show the answer now. I will be writing the code, so you can just compare it with that. And if you're getting the output, then that's a way to say that it's right. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And yeah, we'll do one thing. Once the timer is up, I will ask one of you to explain the logic behind the code. Okay, so in coding, in programming, logic is what matters, because once you know how to write something, then regardless of the language, so C, C++, Python, Java, whatever, you can write the code. All you need to know is the syntax. So I'll ask the logic, and then whoever is done or and wants to explain can just raise their hand. Okay, I'll let you know. Okay then. Time is up. Were you guys able to write the code? Has anyone completed? I have just launched a poll with like yes or no. So you can vote, or if you have completed, just give a thumbs up. Nestor, do you have something to say? You have raised your hand. Okay, wait. Just give me a second. I'll unmute the. Yeah. Now you can say.
Whether we have to explain the code, that is logic, or the exact code.
Just explain the logic. Exact code. I mean, if you know the logic, then it is assumed that you can write the code. Are you done, by the way?
Shall I tell the code logic?
Yeah, sure. Please go on.
Okay. First of all, we have to assign the text in an array, a string array,
Yeah.
main character array. And after that, we have to use a loop, while loop or for loop, and we have to read characters one by one till the \0, new line character.
Okay.
So each time we are searching a character, whether it is a blank space or it's a character. So whenever it's a blank space, so we mean it's a word. Therefore, we have to use another character array to hold the word. It's a two-dimensional array. We have to update the words there. So whenever there is a blank space, we have to add a \0. Then we have to move it to the next row. So each word will be stored in new rows. And finally, we have to identify the smallest and largest. So we need two more arrays, character array. I mean string array. So each and every word, we have to find the length of the word. So when the length of the word is, first of all, we assign the smallest and the largest as the first element of the array. So maybe array of 0 will be the largest as well as the smallest. Then we are comparing the new words by means of the length, whether it is bigger, and the new word will be stored in the largest. If it is smaller, the new word will be stored in the smallest. So finally, we can display the smallest and the largest as the words that we are expecting.
Okay, that is correct. I hope the rest of you also got what he explained. Anyway, I'll just write the code here. So, yeah, I hope you can see my screen, my tab. Yeah, so first of all, we have to initialize an array. Okay, sorry. So as usual, I'm using online compilers again. Okay, I advised you against using these, so I still do, because see, like there will be ads here like this, like you can see, and plus sometimes they just stop running, like what happened last class. So anyway, let's just start. I'll remove this. So since we're using string functions, I'll also include string.h. So having a space here is up to me. So I'll just remove this as well. So it's up to me. I can have a space here or I can not have a space here. So I'm not sure if all compilers will work the same way. So I request you to try and see. So I'll initialize my string character. Okay, the sentence I'll take as input. So since it is a sentence, so I'll just as sentence. Okay, that is what. So let's say maximum it can have 100 characters, or I can also say 500. So the thing with 105, 100 is that much memory will be allocated to it. So if I want to save space, I'll just write 100 and I'll just maybe mention that I write a short sentence. I mean, whatever. So I'll keep it, let's say 150. Okay, just for the sake of it, and I can initialize it to 0. Okay, so it doesn't have anything. That is what I'm saying. I'm initializing it to 0, and yeah. So like Nestor. So like Mr. Nestor suggested, we can also have an array, have a 2-dimensional array to store all the words. So each row will be a word in the string. Okay, so I'll just, so I can call it substring. So they are the substrings, right? So I can just say words, and words will be like what, maximum 50, right? And even this I'll initialize to 0. Okay. So now I can take the sentence input. So I'll just write a statement printf, enter the sentence, right? So yeah, so now I can take the strings input. So I don't want to limit, I mean, I don't want to use a %s because I think it will stop at spacebar. I don't remember very well, but if I use this terminator \n, so if I use something like right, so this it's not ampersand, this power 2 sign, this exponent sign means sorry, means I can, I also need a percentage here, of course. Yeah, this exponent sign just says, I mean, this \n is the terminator. Okay, so this says that whatever follows next is a terminator, and \n is basically new line. So it just means I'll hit enter. So when I'm done and I hit enter, that means the input is basically finished. Okay, and like it was explained in the week's lecture, I don't have to put an ampersand here. So I can just so to make it more clear, I'll just put a comment. Okay, sentence input. Yeah, so now I need to initialize more variables. Okay, so normally I have I equals 0, and since I am so I'm working with more than one dimension. This has only one dimension. This has 2. So I'll use I, j, k and all to represent all these dimensions, or I'll see what I can do with them. I can initialize them on the go as well, but I'll just choose to initialize it like this. Okay, so yeah, I have to use, okay, so yeah, so now I can just start reading. So whenever I hit a space bar, a space, that means my word is terminated there. Okay, so while I will okay, so before that I'll just have to see that so the bigger loop will be just to run through the string, right, stnc k. I'll use k here, not equal to \0, right. This is just to run through the string. So now I'll start the real thing. Okay. So now I have initialized j as 0 here. I don't need to write it here then. So yeah, so why I have done this here is because when it comes back here, it will make j 0 again. So if I have a j equals to 0 outside, then that will be problematic, because I'll have to I'm using j here to just increment the loop. Okay, so now I'll see. So now I'll like I said, whenever I encounter a space, that means my word has ended. Okay, so and I'll keep counting the number of characters in the word as long as I don't encounter a backspace. Okay, so I'll just say this thing. I'll still use k here, of course, because that's what I'm working with, not equal to as usual, and I have quotes and one space bar. Okay, so this is one space, like you can see, and this is what we usually have in the words. And if my sentence has multiple spaces between words, it will read that as well, because I mean it will read a space again, right, same thing. So one space is enough. And I also have to make sure that this thing is not 0. I mean this, it is given I have already mentioned that here on top, but just for the sake of it I'll still mention that. Okay. And like I said, I have to use and, this logical and. I can't use a comma here. That would mean that all this preceding the comma is useless. Okay, it doesn't hold any value. Only the things that are right of the comma will be considered. So that is why I have to use and. Okay, so and sentence k again, not equal to. So last thing we have to see is if it is a full stop. Okay, so I can have multiple sentences, right? I can have one sentence. So but I have mentioned here as input enter the sentence. I will just change it to a sentence. But yeah, user might enter multiple sentences. So I mean sometimes we don't provide them with much clarity. Okay, so once a sentence ends, so if I have multiple sentences, so at the end of my first sentence I will have a full stop, then a space bar, then my new sentence will begin. So that will trick the compiler into considering full stop as a part of the last word, and it will increase its letter count by 1. So I don't want that. That is why I will put a full stop here. Instead of write a sentence, I will just write, I will change it to write a sentence, or I will change it to just write something. Okay. But a sentence is better. Okay. Never mind. Yeah, so let's just enter this smaller loop. So like Mr. Nestor explained, we'll take all the words and store them as rows in our words matrix. Okay, so my second matrix is words, where each word is stored as a row. Okay, so I'll words. So I have initialized I as 0 outside, right? So so k was for this thing, the main string, and I and j I will use for this. Okay, so j0, so j means column, right, and I is row. I mean, if I write I first and j next, this means that row number is I. So whenever I'll hit this, whenever this condition will become false, right? This condition will become false. I'll increment I by 1. So that means one word has ended. I'll go to the next word, hence next row in the words matrix, and I have to make j0 each time to make sure that when I go to a new row, I start at the first column again. Okay, so just understand this carefully. This is basically okay. So I is getting incremented, right? Okay, yes. Sorry, I is that row. Okay, I is that row, and so I'll just write this and explain. Right, so k plus plus and j plus plus. So if if my sentence is write a sentence, so this is k0, k1, k2, k3 and all, okay, and I am storing this in words. So write a sentence, it will be stored as three rows. First row is write. So when I am storing, I am copying that to this thing. So and here, since dimensions are not the same, I cannot use CPY here. I can use that if I had two one dimensional strings, but I can't do that. Okay, so this is just one string, and this is a bunch of strings. Each string is a row. Okay, so k plus plus and j plus plus. So when k first w will be stored, then k will be incremented by 1 this, and the next space in that same row will be r. So that is why I have j plus plus. Okay, and since each string is closed by a \0, I will just so I will just words ij, right. I'm just saying that that string has ended. Okay, so whatever comes after that will not be read. So words is a bunch of strings. Okay, each row is a string. So that string has ended. That is what I am signifying here. So row number is still now the same, and column, yeah, the whole word was stored, and then j plus plus also happened, and I have just so k plus plus is now space. Okay, so once the word has ended, I came here and I checked k is this, I encountered a space or maybe the end of the string or full stop. So yeah, I need this because I am checking here only here in this loop. So once I am done with this, I'll perform more operations and all. Then I'll come back here and check if this is valid or not. Okay, so I need this here as well and here. So yeah, so the first word has been stored in words. Okay, now I have to go to the next word. So I have to yeah, the next word I will reach the next word because I'll have k plus plus anyway. So sorry, this thing has reached this, so I have this. Now I have to go to the next word. So I'll check if my sentence, sorry, if my string is ending or not. Okay, so to check if the string is ending, I will just use something like, I'll just see if the string is ending or not. So as long as it is not this, I can do k plus plus, right? So k plus plus is basically I'm going to the, oh god, sorry, I'm going to the next letter, k plus plus. Okay, so since the current place I am is a space, right, I have to go to the next word. So that is why I am doing k plus plus, and I can do that only if I haven't reached the end of the string. So and then I will just see, oh yeah, so I have initialized a variable called len, and I have given it the value of I. Okay, so okay, give me a second. Okay, so len represents the represents the row number even here, just like I, and I need to check the length of each word, right? So I'll declare more variables here just to do that. So I can just call it max length and min length. Okay, so max length equals and min length. I'll just initialize them to 0. Okay, just to, so these two represent the lengths of maximum and the maximum and the minimum length of words that are there. Okay, so like Mr. Nestor said, first we'll just use them for the first word. Okay, so so if I write this words, sorry, strlen words 0. So I'm just initializing this value. Since I've read only one word, the first word itself is the longest and the shortest word, right? So I'm just storing this as both, and if I encounter a word longer than this, then that length will become max length, and if I encounter a word shorter than this, that will become min length, and it will keep happening till I get the longest and the shortest word. I hope it makes sense. Okay, so strlen. So normally when you're finding the largest number or a smallest number in an array, so if you're finding the largest number, you will just create a variable called max and give it the value, let's say minus 999, a very small value, so that whatever you find is more than that, or you can just give it the value of some element from the array. So it's all up to you. Same thing you do it when, okay, just, yeah. Same thing you do when you find the smallest number, you just initialize min to be some very large number, or you can just say that min is the first element. Then you can keep comparing that and replace the value of min or max or whatever. So that is what I have done here. I've just said that they are the first this thing, right? Yeah, I also have to, I also need variables to see that which row, right? So since words is just a bunch of rows, which row is has the word of the longest length, and which row has the word of the shortest length. Okay, so index, right? So ij and all are indices, so I'll just write max index equals 0. Normally when we initialize variables like that, we'll just say 0 for the sake of it. Min index is also 0. Okay. So I will yeah. So now I'm comparing. I'm just seeing to see that which one is. So just give me a minute for. So I is my current row. Okay, I is my len will be my current row here. I. So I am reusing I here to see that. So len is my current row, and I'll go till that row and compare all the words that are there and see if they are shorter than that or longer than that. Okay, so I will. So ith word. Okay, so ith row, I'll substitute the value of, let's say, a. A is some integer a, so int a, or I'll just initialize this here. Why unnecessarily keep initializing the same thing? So a equals strlen. So this is the current word, not the current word, sorry. I'm starting from all the words and I'll compare that to the current word to see if it is the shortest or the longest. Right, so if a, or you can also use some flag or temp or whatever. So a is more than max length. So I can say that max len equals a, because that's the new max length, and max index is I. So ith word is the longest word. Okay, and similarly I will do that with the with min. If it turns out to be a very short word, I'll let min len is a, and min index, sorry. So this is also important, right? Yeah, I mean I accidentally wrote a capital N here, so it is case sensitive, so keep that in mind, is I. Okay, and I plus plus is happening here anyway, so yeah, so I mean, okay, give me a minute. I need another I plus plus somewhere, so okay, not really, not really. So if I start with 0, len is also 0, I'll just the first word has been stored, but this I plus plus happened. Okay, this it is false, it didn't enter the loop, but I plus plus happened. So nothing happened here, it went back. I plus plus means now I has become 1. The second word has been stored in words, and then len is now 1, and I'll compare the first two words. Okay, so I plus plus has been taken care of by this, so I can come out of the loop, of the main for loop. So now everything is set now, so I'll just write printf, and I will just print the largest and the smallest word. So largest word is, and I'll, of course string is %s. I can just write \n here because sorry, smallest is percentage s, and of course, so indexes, indices. So these are basically this is basically the row where the row in words where the longest word is stored, and this is the row in words where the shortest word is stored. Okay, and max length is the length of the longest word, min length is the length of the shortest word. Okay, so I can also write one line saying that the longest word is, this is not largest, this should be longest, my bad, and this should be shortest, est, yeah, yes. So these quotes are closed. I'll just use words and max index comma words min index, right. Yeah, one nice thing is if I start writing here, I can just choose, I can just use the arrow keys to choose what I want. Okay, so I can't use main, of course. I'll just have to hit enter so that it autofills. So I don't have to type, and since it autofills, there will be less chance for me to make a spelling mistake, because here in line 48 I accidentally wrote capital N here. Okay, so this compiler is somewhat helpful that way. I can also printf this thing. So sorry, longest word is character, characters too long, letters long, and shortest one is okay. So and here of course, so percentage d, like I said, min len and max len are the sizes of those words. So I'll just write max len comma min len. So let's see if it works. If it doesn't work, we'll of course debug the code. Error. So write a sentence. So I think the sentence I chose was, it is a ridiculous thing to say. It is a ridiculous thing to say. I'll hit enter. Okay, so yeah, I have made a small mistake here. It just okay, this is one mistake. This is just a printing error, and it says both are the last word. So let's see where I have made the mistake. So let me just check where I might have made the mistake. So I am storing the words correctly, right? Sentence has been inputted. Int I, j, k, min, max, everything is there, and I'm initialize j as 0, checking the word. So Oh, it says 3 3, so both are 3. There is some mistake in this one that I have to see. strlen words I if a is greater than max length. So like I said, it is choosing the last word. So if this, what is happening here? Give me a second to think. One small mistake has been made. I'm trying to figure out where. Okay, I got the mistake. Maybe I got the mistake. Let's see. I forgot to increment this first. Okay. So yeah, like I said, this was slightly wrong when I said that I++ will take care of everything. So I++ of course will not take care of everything here. I have to use I++ here to increment the rows. Okay. So this says when I'm done with a word, when I'm done with one word, I'll add this as a last character to make sure that string is completed. Then I'll do I++ to move to the next line, next row of words to store my next word. Okay, then of course if this thing I haven't hit the end, I'll just increase k by 1 and go to the next word, and all this is to just see that what is going on where. Are there any doubts here? I mean yeah, and I think I took around half an hour to do this, so expecting this to be done in 15 minutes was not fair. But any doubts here, or is it like clear? Just raise your hand if you have a doubt, else I'll move on to the next question. Yeah, so I'll also change this to, sorry. This looks weird, right? It says 1 letters long, so that's why I put this in the bracket, so that, so longest word is this, shortest word is this, and longest word is these many letters long, and shortest word is these many letters long. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So why this I++ matters is I was not moving rows, like I said, so that is my fault. So that is why it only took the last word, because after every string I put after the when a word ended, I put this \0, so it didn't count that at all. It just thought that the whole string is say. Okay, it just thought that the whole string is say. So just yeah, so that was a small mistake. I hope this is clear, so we'll move on to the next question. No doubt, so that is not sure if it is a good sign or a bad sign. Anyway, so hope you can see my presentation. last question, like task 5 is matrix multiplication, right? So matrices are two-dimensional arrays. I mean, so write a code to take input as two 2D arrays of user-defined dimensions. Perform a check whether the multiplication can take place both ways before taking the arrays in. If the multiplication is possible, perform it both ways. So, okay, so both ways, yeah, it will actually make your work easy anyway. So, or you can also modify the code by saying only one kind of multiplication is possible and just give that output. Okay, so I don't want people writing the whole code here, so I'll just yeah, block the chat. Okay, so some people with mathematics background and all, they might know how matrix multiplication works, so I'll still tell you. The condition for it to work is this. The dimensions of this are m cross n, and for this it is p cross q. So right, so m cross n, I'll write here itself, m cross n and p cross q. Okay, so for multiplication to happen, for 1 into 2, n and p have to be equal. Okay, so I'll change it to n. If they are not equal, then multiplication is not possible. And for the multiplication of 2 into 1 to happen, q and m have to be equal. Okay, so those are the checks you need to perform to see if the multiplication is possible or not. Okay, so then only you should take the matrix input. Okay, so it will save some time, right? So yeah, and how matrix multiplication works is like this. So number of columns here should be equal to the number of rows here. Like we said, 2 and 2 are equal, m into n, p into q. So n and n have to be equal. I mean, right? So p, it was p, I changed it to n. So first, and the size of the product matrix will be m rows and q columns. Okay, so you can say that it is you can see that it is 3 cross 2 and 2 cross 3. 2 and 2 are equal, so the multiplication can happen, and the product is 3 cross 3. Okay, m cross q. So how the multiplication takes place is, first element is so I'll take this row and this column. So the first row from the first matrix and the first column from the second matrix. So 1 multiplied by 1 plus 1 multiplied by 2, that will be my first element. So 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 2 is 2, 1 plus 2 3. Second, I will go to this. So second element of the first row will be same, first row here and second column here. Okay, so because it number of columns depends on the number of columns of second matrix. So first row, second one will be first row from here and second column from this. So 1 into 1 plus 1 into same 3. So I know, so I hope you understood how it works, and so just write a code for this. I'll give you 15 minutes again, and then we'll discuss the code, okay, on how to write the code. I hope there are no doubts with the question itself. This is fairly simple. I mean, it is more easy than the previous one.
Yes, I've completed the code.
Mute, I think. I mean, I was not on mute, but I was not recording my audio. So yeah, I can write a go-to statement to make sure that the user whatever he inputs is I mean valid, the dimensions of the matrices, so that multiplication can take place. So I have initialized both as max size of 2020, and I'll write C as what is it called, C as A into B and D as B into A. Okay. So yeah, and of course I'll also need ijk. Do I need ijk or only? I need ijk. I need dimensions m, n, p, and q. Okay. So I'll just ask the user to enter the dimensions reset of the first matrix. So both of these are there. If so here I have just I'm just comparing the values of this, and yeah, I will just okay. So yeah, if sorry. So what I'll do is I'll okay, never mind. A and B is possible is all I'll write, and if uh, M equals Q, P into A is possible. Right. So since I didn't add curly braces after if, only this one line comes under this if. I'll just write else. Okay, so so this thing is clear now. I mean, just to compare. Now I'll do so even after this happens, if I still take the input, then it will be bad, right? So I will do one thing. I will create a flag, int flag equals 0. Okay, so if this else happens, I will just add this flag plus plus. So if my flag is 2, that means both are not possible. Then matrix multiplication is not possible, right? So I will, or instead of exit 0, I can just write printf. Okay, no, I'll just exit the code. Exit 0. Now I will take the user input. So printf, enter the elements of the first matrix row wise. Okay, what happened now? So it seems like I've changed my, I pressed some key and my cursor style has gotten changed, and anyway, scanf. Oh God. So since I'm taking it row wise, I'll just scanf each element row wise. So percentage. Oh my God, this is. So now because the cursor has changed, then it automatically completes the codes. Once I type, the right part of the codes will get automatically deleted, and I have to type it manually. But that is fine, I think. So ij. See, the same thing happened for the brackets itself as well. Sorry, this is done. So now I'll take input of the second matrix. So element of the second matrix. This is horrible. I can just use ij. Yeah. Initialize this back to this. This thing becomes p. This thing becomes q, and rest everything is fine. This thing becomes b, of course. Yeah. Now I can just perform the multiplication. If so, I can perform the first multiplication only if this is possible. So I will just mention this anyway. Yeah, so I have to mention this because it will only exit the program if flag is 2. If flag is 1, we don't know that which one is not possible. So yeah, so if flag is 1, we don't know which one of them has failed. I mean, of course we'll know because we are the ones who give the input, but it's already 8. Oh god, it's overshooting by quite a bit, I think. Anyway, I'll just make it quick. So yeah, for I equals 0, I less than m, I plus plus. This is I'm just doing the matrix. Oh god, I'm just doing the matrix multiplication here. Printf product of A into B is right. So I'm taking the product here. So like I said, the number of rows will be equal to number of rows of the product will be equal to the number of rows of the first matrix, and the number of columns of the product will be equal to the number of columns of the second matrix. So I will just, so I'll use I less than m here and j less than q here. Okay, so I hope it is, I mean I hope you got why I use that, right? So I'll initialize the first element of matrix C as 0, and then I'll take the sum. Okay, so since it's basically a sum, right? Sum of products. So for k equals 0, k less than n. So n and p both are equal, so I can just use n. So those many number of products will take place. Okay, and they will be added. That is why we have to make sure that the number of columns in the first one and the number of rows in the second one are same. Okay, so just at k plus plus. Now we can do the summation. So the summation is basically Cij, and you can clearly see that I am not using k here. Okay, so k is just to count the sum. So a I k, right? So I is the rows, j is the columns, and k is the number of rows in the first matrix. K is the number of columns in the first matrix, and just make it plus equal to, because I am adding anyway. So now I would like to add a space here, but my cursor has changed, so I can't. K. So like I said, k is the number of columns in the first one, and and number of rows of the second matrix. So I'm done with this. I can just output this. I can so where is this ending here, right? So I can just write printf for I equals 0, I less than m, I plus plus, for j equals 0, j less than q, j plus plus, printf percentage D C I J and oh my god, yeah, I'll write a space here, of course, I mean to make it more, to make sure that the numbers don't stick to each other. Cij, right. So now I have exited, I mean, so whatever line I write here is not part of this for loop, okay, because I didn't put the curly braces. So to make sure that the next row is printed in the next line, I'll just print one, I mean I'll just write a new line command, right. So this is done. This I have only shown for the first thing. Next you can just copy paste this, first check this condition, if q is equal to, sorry, if m is equal to q, then you can just, I mean, do the needful, I suppose. So exit is exit was not a good way to do this. Anyway, I will just and this flag plus plus. Oh, so instead of writing this exit here, I will just, I can just do this. Okay, dimensions of the first matrix 2, 2, 2, 2. A into B is possible, B into A is possible, so I'll enter it row wise. 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 3. It gave me the product, so 1 into 2 plus 1 into 3, so 2 plus 3, 5. 1 into 2 plus 2 into 3, so 2 plus 6, 8. 2 plus 6, 8, and 2 into 3 and 2 into 3. So 4 plus 9, 13. I didn't write the second part of the code, but I think you can figure that out for yourselves. Okay. Do you have any doubts here? No doubts? Then I think we can conclude the class. So have a good day. Bye.